Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Well, hello, you guys. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about the new episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's season 13, episode 14. So, let's get right into it, y'all. So, we begin this episode with little clips of family scenes, people going around in their house. But the first official scene is in Margaret's house, and she's having a lunch with her mom, Jen Fessler, and her mom, and then her mom actually has an identical twin, so she also goes, and they look so much alike, obviously, but they even dress as each other. So it was funny. So the four of them are having a fun lighthearted lunch, and Jen shares some of her childhood with us, so that was nice, so that we can kind of get to know her a little bit more. And then they do talk a little bit about the girls and the Ireland trip that they took. One of the things that they said is that Danielle is very weird to them for crying, and then they're saying that it kind of seems as if she wants to make everything about herself. And they also mention Melissa and Teresa briefly. The next scene is Dolores with Paulie, and they're going to be joined by Frank and his girlfriend and the kids. So basically, it's the four of them, Dolores, Frank, and the two kids, but with the new significant others, because it's time to start interacting more. So Frank feels like Paulie doesn't want to get to know them more, like he doesn't want to be that inclusive. But I think Frank needs to realize that not all of Dolores's boyfriends are going to be like David, where they're like living up in the house with each other and doing all that. But the main purpose of this little dinner was to celebrate Frankie, who is making strides in his career. And poor Paulie was so uncomfortable. I kind of felt bad for him because Frank was questioning him to the max. And then the girlfriend, I think her name is Brittney, she asks Paulie if he learned English when he came to America because she thought that he didn't speak English in Ireland. I was like, oh my gosh. But then they start to plan out a party that's going to be Irish theme at Dolores' house. So that sounds like it'll be fun. Frank also then asks if they're going to get engaged. And Polly says that, well, what about you and your girlfriend? But then Frank's like, no, well, I asked you first. So, according to Polly, he already has a ring selected. I don't know if he was just teasing or if he's being like for real. That's what he said. And then Frank starts to, talk about maybe he can possibly marry Brittney in the future. And overall, towards the end, it actually was a nice scene because they all were kind of like getting along. And I like that they're going to be able to have a good dynamic so they can move forward, hopefully, with this new idea of a family. The next scene is Teresa and Louis at home. They're doing some more planning because the date for the wedding is fast approaching. And they're going over the seating chart and they talk about the bridal shower that just happened. And of course, they discuss Melissa. So Melissa and Joe have not RSVP'd for the rehearsal dinner, so that's making them mad. Louis is starting to also become really angry at them because he feels like there's no effort from their part and that all they do is blame Teresa. So he pretty much calls Joe a toxic trick. And Teresa says that she's actually embarrassed of her family, like compared to Louis' family, who's so supportive. So I was like, damn. And then the next scene is Danielle with her mom again, like last episode, and they're kind of like looking at Danielle's little clothing line for kids, and then eventually they talk about the brother. I still think that we don't know the true reason why they separated like that, because like you don't go from loving your mom and sister to just cutting them off all of a sudden. Like you don't just wake up one day and feel like it. So I really want to know what actually happened because they haven't even met his new daughter, so that's sad. The next scene though is also kind of family oriented. I really liked it. It was Jennifer Aydin. So her brother is coming from Turkey and she got him an apartment. So I love that. She shows the apartment to the brother and his wife and they are so grateful. They are so appreciative of the apartment. And then she begins to talk to her brother a little bit about the problems that she's having with Bill. The next scene, I also really enjoyed it. It was Rachel. So she's having the conversation again about the adoption, and the ball is rolling already. Like legally, they are starting the process and they have reached out to the birth mother. They then call the boy to tell him what's going on, and he actually looked really happy with the idea that Rachel would legally be his mother. But when they told him that the birth mom could object, he did get a little bit sad. So I think that for sure there is no relationship between the birth mom and him. And he straight up says that he wants Rachel to be his mom. So regardless of what most people think of Rachel, I like her. Eventually we get to the day of this Irish party, and we see people getting ready, doing their makeup, choosing their outfits or whatever. And some of the like couples are like having conversations. One of the topics of conversation that we hear is about Laura, Margaret's ex best friend, who has been mentioned throughout this entire season. So according to Jennifer Aydin, she tells her husband that Laura exposed many things, and she says that Margaret clearly has something on Melissa, which is why Melissa has never gone up against Margaret. Then this last scene was pretty impactful. So we see Teresa and Louis, and like I said, very definitive scene. Teresa says that they're going to see Joe at the party later. And she asks Louis, like, what does he think? Is he going to talk to Joe? And Louis says that he wants to talk to Joe as much as he wants to talk to a rat down the street. Wow. He says that he's disgusted by Joe's, quote, devilish ways, that he has something going on. And he flat out says, I don't even want your brother coming to our wedding. He says that he is going to pull Teresa out of the snake pit that she's in, and he's done. He says that he is done with everything, and that something happens at this party, he is going to stand up for himself, and he's not going to take it from Joe. So the reason why I find this a little bit surprising, only because if you guys remember earlier in the season, Louis was like, trying to be like, we love you, your family. So it looks like he has had enough. He has had enough, and now he's saying, you know what, enough is enough, and if you don't want to be part of this family, then you won't. So that was pretty shocking. And then, you guys, next week is the season finale. Thank God it's the season finale, because I mean, I do like the show, but I do think that we can't take any more of this, can we? So the season finale is coming. I'm not sure if the wedding special is going to be after that. So we'll see when the reunion comes. But as far as season finale, it will be next week, and things are going to get crazy at this Irish party. So I cannot wait. But you guys, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts about this overall episode, and what are your thoughts about what Louis said to Teresa? Did it surprise you? And what were your thoughts? So please don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be here next week talking about the season finale. Tomorrow we'll be talking about Vanderpump Rules, which that one is also coming to an end soon, and it's getting really good. So y'all, please don't forget to like, subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.